Hello, and welcome to Retrotainment Recast. We're back again this week. I'm in the judge's seat again after a really big battle, which is what that last film was all about in Gangs of New York. It was a really good back and forth between me and Greg, but he pipped me on a couple of them. I had said at the start that I felt I'd gone a bit left field on some of the choices, to be fair.
Definitely with the Orlando Bloom one.
The Orlando Bloom was a very left field one. I think I was just trying to use somebody new that we hadn't used before as well.
Yeah.
But you know, it was a good battle there. Not like the Braveheart one where I felt robbed. I didn't feel robbed last week.
You're still going on about that.
Yeah, I'm still going on about Braveheart. Right, you two fucking done me dirty there, right?
Horror boys, what?
Yeah, two boys doing me dirty.
Let's just say you got put on the slab.
Yeah, two boys texting each other. Oh, make sure I win this week. I love you. Yeah, a lot of bollocks, right? No, but last week was a perfectly fair one, and Greg continues on his reign as champion. And up to challenge him is the King. Unfortunately, Carl didn't tell me last week when I picked the film that he actually despises this film, which I don't understand. I didn't think anybody hated Bad Boys, especially Bad Boys 2, where they give Reggie the old dressing down. What scene?
Everyone remembers that scene in Bad Boys 2. Everyone forgets about the most comical scene in that, when Martin Lawrence is crawling through the attic and the two rats are riding. Yeah. He's like, Daddy Rat's humping the mama rat, and he's going straight up pile driver.
That is very funny, but everyone does remember the Reggie scene. 15? You ain't 15? I'm not going to use the actual verbiage. I'm not getting myself cancelled by using that word, but you know, very, very funny scene nonetheless. Just not one that I can repeat. But it's Bad Boys for you, lads. So if you want to just send in your picks there to make sure there's no cheating,
shenanigans. There's mine.
Okay.
Grant, have them both there. Right. So as reigning champ, Greg will go first.
Champ in the house, baby.
We'll start with the minor characters. So first one we'll go with is Sanchez, who, although Greg called it out last week, the smaller cops, he is one of the smaller roles.
He's the bigger of the smaller two.
Well, that's what Greg says. So we'll go with Sanchez.
I'm the champ. I can do what I want.
The two boys agreed that Sanchez should go in. I felt it should have been the secretary, but the two of them said, nah, just go with Sanchez. So,
ironically, thinking about it now, it probably could have been Marcus's wife either.
His wife or the secretary are definitely a bigger role than Sanchez, but
look,
whatever, it's Sanchez now, so off you go.
We're here now, so.
I went with Michael Pena.
Okay, yeah, I can see Michael Pena there.
Plays cops or rent-a-cops in a lot of things.
Loves chatting shit as well, as we see in Ant-Man.
He's gas, isn't he? He has some smack talk too. He's a good actor though.
No, he is, yeah.
And I don't think he's ever going to be a star cast.
No, I don't see him as a star cast or anything, no.
But that's my
wrong, but yeah, I don't see him as being that.
I'd be surprised. I would watch something with him as a star cast.
I probably would, but I don't see him taking anything as being the main guy. So, Carl, who do you have?
I went with someone kind of similar-esque looking. Michael Mando, you know, Nacho from Better Call Saul. And he was also in Spider-Man.
Yeah, good actor.
Yeah.
He was Tuco's brother, was he?
No, he was Tuco's mate.
Yeah.
And then he kind of screwed them all over. He screwed the Salamancas over.
I think Carl used him once before.
I think he I don't know if he used him. He definitely had him as a backup at some point. I don't know if he actually used him.
Good actor though, Michael Mando.
He is. I kind of struggled with this one because the name, obviously Sanchez, sounds like it's of Latina descent, but he's not really in the film. When I rewatched it, I was like, he's not really.
It's just there. It's because he's in Miami.
Yeah, he's just in Miami. So the person I went with was actually, it wasn't someone Latina. I went with Joel Kinnaman, who's kind of not really a big actor at the moment. You'd mainly remember him from the two Suicide Squads. He's the
Oh yeah, I know who he is. Yeah,
Rick Flag, is it? I think that's his name.
yeah, Rick Flag. Yeah.
So I think he fits into that. It's not a big role either. It's probably a little bit smaller than some of the roles he's taken recently, but I kind of figured he might take something like that.
If you really want to talk about it, he's in RoboCop.
Oh God.
Well, there's only one RoboCop.
Exactly.
And it's not the one that he was in. So I don't want to talk about that.
He's a good actor, actually. That's a good show. I like
I don't know if he'd take that role. When I was doing it, I was a little bit like, oh, he might not take that role. It might be a little bit too small for him.
Yeah.
But he doesn't tend to take the main roles either.
Would you count him as the main role in the original Suicide Squad? Because he was technically the leader.
I think he's meant to be the main role in both Suicide Squads, but in both times he gets outshone. In the original one, in the original one, he's obviously outshone massively by Will Smith's character, who obviously Deadshot, who doesn't make the return, and then he's Margot Robbie obviously outshone all of them.
I wonder why.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, I think they kind of meant him to be the main character, but it never really worked out that way. As for your two picks, they're actually two very, very strong ones. I do like Michael Pena, but I think he's a bit more of a comedy bit.
Well, that's what they are.
They are, but he's more comedy in the sense that he does a lot more talking, or at least that's kind of what I remember him as, like, because the most recent thing I've seen him is Ant-Man, where he's like, so my cousin, he's going out with this girl, and she is best friends with this guy who told him about this, and that's all I can think of with him at the moment is when he goes on those massive elaborate stories. So I am going to go with Michael Mando there, who I do think works. I think he's probably a bit of a smaller actor than Michael Pena as well, and this role is a lot smaller than I remembered it when we agreed to put him in. I did think he had more screen time in this than he does. Yeah. So Carl goes ahead, 1-0. Champs on the ropes here, but not really, because it's still
just the first one.
Just the first one. But we'll go to you with the second one, Carl. The next smallest role is probably Allison, which is the woman above the police chief.
Allison?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Captain Sinclair, is it?
Yeah, Allison Sinclair. Yeah, sorry.
Right. So
I was having a heart attack there.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't have more than that. So I went with the actress is kind of big enough, but as I said, I'm not overly fond of this film, so I went with Florence Pugh. I think she's quite versatile, and that's just what I think. But sure.
She's a good actress, but she's about 25 years of age. She's not making it to a police captain. Not happening.
I do
going against me again.
It could. I do like Florence Pugh as an actress. I'm very big on her as an actress. But I think Greg could be right there. She is a bit young to maybe be
a captain or whatever.
Well, like not just the captain. She's above the captain, because the captain is obviously Captain Howard, and then she's one step above him again. She's like his boss, so could be a bit of a risk there. But who do you have, Greg?
I have Lena Headley.
Lena Headley, yeah. Okay, so I'm not surprised that Lena Headey was jumped in there. Lena Headey is actually one of my backups.
Oh.
Who I did have for quite a while.
Then it has to be someone better than Orden.
I don't know if it's someone better. It's just somebody we haven't used before, and somebody that kind of is a bit of a rising star at the moment, and plays that kind of bitchy boss role quite well. In I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this correct. Colby Minifie, who you would know from The Boys. She's the redhead in The Boys, who's constantly like in over her head, but is always like, just do the fuck what I say.
Yeah.
Good show.
Yeah.
That might actually be better than Lena Headey.
I did have Lena Headey for a while, because I think she does fit that role quite well.
Am I marking down a W for me here?
I think you are. As much as I like Florence Pugh, I think
too young.
Florence, one, too young, and I think two at the moment is not to say Lena Headey's not a big star, but I think she is a bigger star power than
She
Lena
could
Headey
have,
at the moment.
like, she could have easily been Julie.
She probably would have been a closer shout to Julie, to be honest. Yeah. But that ties it up. So back to you, Greg, at 1-1. The next smallest one is probably Captain Howard, to be honest.
Yeah, Joe. Love Joe. Pentaglio.
What a fucking... There's another versatile actor there.
Man, he does everything. He's like... I remember growing up watching Baby's Day Out, and he's one of the lads that kidnaps him in that.
Yeah, then he's the shitbag in the Matrix as well.
Yeah.
Like
Tank.
he's just...
Is it Tank? No, not Tank.
No, Tank's a good guy. He's
Cypher.
Cypher,
yeah.
What a shitbag.
Yeah. Captain Howard, quick talking, angry. Doesn't do a whole lot. Terrible at basketball.
Well, he was getting them all in before the guys showed up.
Sure he was.
That's what he says, Greg. You calling him a liar?
I am. I went with Bill Burr here.
Okay. Yeah, Bill Burr's a good shout there now, to be honest, yeah.
I think he fits in there perfectly. Doesn't have to do a whole lot of acting to an extent. And like some of his skits in stand-up when he's giving out angry giving out. I will make you sit at the desk every Saturday for the rest of the time.
You're you and you're you, except around her. Then you're not you.
Yeah. And then he's like, you better find Mike now.
Yeah. No, Bill Burr is good. No, Bill Burr is a good shout there now, I have to say. Yeah, I like that one. Who have you got, King?
I think I could be on the ropes here. That was a very good show. I always forget about Bill Burr. Yeah.
So do I.
I went with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I just thought, he's good at I think he's a good actor, and he's good at comedy. He's good at playing a cop. And
do you know what? I have the utmost respect for Joseph Gordon-Levitt because he wrote a movie that he played a sex addict and had cast Scarlett Johansson as the girl.
Listen, he's a cheeky bastard, but what a man.
He played Robin.
Well, he wasn't Robin, but yeah, he was.
It was implied that he was.
It was implied.
Well, he is Robin.
It was set up for him to be Robin, and he didn't take the role.
Yeah, basically. Nolan. No, because Nolan wasn't coming back.
Yeah, Nolan wasn't coming back, and he said, "Well, I'm not doing it then." But that was probably the time when I'd say he was at his biggest.
It was, yeah.
Now he was obviously huge before that as well. I think in like TV and stuff.
He was a big American.
I think that was when he really broke onto the scene for everyone. I had a couple of people here. I tried to think kind of along the same lines as Carl at one point, with people who'd played kind of like police officers and stuff. And I had John Cusack, but I didn't really like John Cusack there. I didn't think he fit that role well enough. So I actually switched it and I went with Jeremy Renner. Who I think can play the kind of comedy, but also be quite serious as well when he needs to be.
He's very comedy-esque in 28 Days Later. Or 28
weeks. He's
weeks later.
Yeah. I was thinking of him from the show when they did the TV series on Disney. When they did Hawkeye as a TV series. I thought he was quite good there as being, like a bit of a sort of mentor but captain, but always annoyed with the kind of underling. He was like, oh my god, all you do is cause trouble, which is basically all Mike and Marcus do. They just cause trouble everywhere they go.
It's not even Marcus, it's more so Mike.
Well, it is, but then when Marcus is Mike, he causes a lot of trouble.
It's true. Mom, Dad's on the TV.
I am going to go with Bill Burr there. I think that is a really, really solid shout. I think even if I had Joseph Gordon-Levitt there myself, I think it would have been because I'd forgotten Bill Burr, and I think Bill Burr would have put me over the edge anyway with that. So
that's fair.
That would have been one of those magic picks.
Yeah, I think so. I like Jeremy Renner, but again, I wasn't sold on him either, and I still think Bill Burr would beat him out as well. So,
it's not often those picks come along when you're like, oh, I had this person, but I'm still willing to change it.
Yeah, it's not very often, but that is one of them. So Greg pulls ahead 2-1, and it's back to you, Carl. So we'll have to go with someone. Oh, I don't know. Do we go with? I think we have to leave Mike and Marcus to the end. So
yeah.
I'd say you have to get rid of Julie here.
Julie is probably the next one. Yeah, even though she's kind of a bit more in the film than Fouché, but I will go with Julie here.
All right. Okay. So Tia Leone was a big actress at the time.
Yeah.
And the person I picked is a little bit older than she was, but look, as I said, fuck it, in from penny, in from pound.
So she's going to be 90 here. Watch, it's Betty White.
Did you see my list?
Betty White is dead, so you've lost if you pick that one.
Damn.
God rest her soul.
I went with Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie.
Okay.
Again, as I said, you guys would be more familiar with the film, so.
Yeah, I like Margot Robbie, but I don't know. She might be too big for this role now. Like, I think she's got one of the biggest stars in Hollywood at the moment.
Absolutely.
And as you do say, Tia Leone did have a big name. I don't know if she had as big a name as Margot Robbie. But we'll see who Greg has here. It could still be in with a good shout.
He might be, because I don't know if you've seen any of these that she's in. I went for a first-time entry.
Okay.
I went with Lauren Germain.
Lauren Germain.
Well, her name is German.
Lauren German. Yeah. Okay.
She was in Hostel. She was in Texas Chainsaw. She's Captain Decker in Lucifer.
Haven't actually watched Lucifer yet.
She was in Hostel, Hawaii Five-0, Walk to Remember, Chicago Fire.
So just before you go on, Greg, are we going on present day? Because if that's the case, she's 43.
I do think she's maybe a little bit old for the young
she's
girl.
43? What?
She's 43. I am looking her up here, and she doesn't look 43. I will give you that, Greg, but she's 43.
Okay.
Which is what I was thinking when you said Texas Chainsaw. I was like, well, wasn't she like a teenager in Texas Chainsaw? And like,
she's the girl who shoots herself in the head at the start.
Yeah, but I was thinking, wasn't she a teenager then? And that was like 2003. So you've got to be adding on another 19 years onto that. So even if she was, 18 or 19 in that, you're still looking at kind of the mid 30s. I'm actually surprised that you didn't go, because there is one mention in this of the girl's eye color.
Yeah, that is Alexander Daddario.
It says blue eyes, so I actually thought you would go with Alexander Daddario, who is
I wanted to try and move outside of thing. Yeah. And that was the easy pick.
Yeah, I had Lucy Hale originally, who I've used a couple of times, but I ended up settling on Alexander Daddario when they said the blue eyes, because she has those baby blue eyes, like. And I suppose you could just take that line out. It's not such a significant line that you had to settle on that. I do think Margot Robbie's too big a name, but Lauren Germain is too old at 43, I think, to play.
Tia Leone was 33 playing this.
29.
Is that all she was?
And Margot Robbie's 32, I think, isn't she?
Around that, yeah. So I am gonna go with Margot Robbie. I do think Lauren Germain is a good shout. And although she doesn't look that age, I don't know enough of her work either.
That's all right. Well, I would have lost out on that anyway.
Yeah, so I will go with Margot Robbie. So that levels it up at 2-2.
I was trying to be different because I started watching Lucifer. I was like, I'll put her in. See,
she is very good in Chicago Fire. Anyway, I do know that. I haven't watched Lucifer. It's on the list of things to watch. Well, so as we said, the next one is Fouché. So it's leveled up at 2 apiece. Carl could be on for the, he might not like the film, but he could be in here.
I won The Matrix, and I didn't like that.
But wouldn't it be hilarious if we did win this with this fucking film? Like,
so it happens, it's very hard to recast a film that you really like sometimes. Yeah. But we'll go with the big baddie Fouché here.
Right, it's me, is it?
Greg first here.
Greg.
Oh. Right. I went with Oliver Martinez here, who is in SWAT, Dark Tide, Paul the Apostle of Christ. I don't know if you've seen that. I watched it, unfortunately. He's married to Halle Berry. There's a few there. Like, I went outside left field here.
I think you did. I don't know if I've seen him in much.
He's in on Facebook with Richard Gere, Taking Lives with Angelina Jolie.
I don't think I've seen those.
You seen SWAT with Colin Farrell?
Have seen SWAT with Colin Farrell. That's a long old time ago, though, so I haven't watched that in a while.
Fair enough. Out there.
It could be one of those ones that you've gone out there and it could be backfiring on you, but we'll see who Carl has, the king. Who do you got?
Okay, so this guy is French, isn't he?
Yeah,
he is French. Yeah.
So I went with.
No, just to put it there, my actor is actually French.
Yeah, but no one knows him, so don't worry about
it. Yeah.
Anyway, I went with someone who I think is good at doing accents.
Okay.
And I saw him doing accents. Well, it's a German accent, but I went with Michael Fassbender. I think he, as I said before, I think he can play sinister roles, you know. And I know, like, he's a good actor, and he can do a multiple, you know, different types of voices. Like
Ted's having flashbacks over there.
Michael fucking Fassbender.
Oh no.
No, I do like Michael Fassbender. I think you have both missed a massive trick here.
Well, I don't know the film, so you know, yeah.
I don't think that matters. You knew that the character was French, and I think you both missed a massive trick here in not using Frenchie from The Boys. I think he fits that very well. He's such a dirty little dog. Yeah, he is. There's nothing that says this guy has to be big or intimidating. He's just
this guy has to be. Well, again, I'm assuming this guy has to have a big presence to be an iconic villain.
Not really, because he's managed to climb up the ranks basically and become the boss. All you have to do is be, you know, a bit psychotic to manage that. Do you know what I mean?
He's extremely smart as well.
Frenchie's
very calculated.
So is Frenchie. Frenchie's very smart in The Boys as well. Do you know?
He is. If you look at like Fassbender could come across as very highly intelligent and highly calculating.
No,
in regards to Frenchie, like.
I mean, there's no point in arguing here because Ted doesn't know my actor. So,
the other backup I had was Theo Rossi, who is someone I've used as well before.
I don't like that either.
I think. Sorry.
Juice.
Juice
plays Juice in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah. Oh, no. I think so. Like, they're two boys. When you look at them, they're very wily to get to the top. Like, they'd be able to get to that top. That's all you need here.
Juice has never got to the top.
No, but I think the character, like, when he plays that character in Jessica Jones and stuff, or is it Luke Cage that he plays in? I think it's Luke Cage. When he plays those roles, he's quite he's smart about what he does. And let's be honest, the underlings in this are like complete morons. Like, they're actually just idiots. So it wouldn't take that much to get to be the boss of them anyway. I will have to go with Fassbender because I don't know. Like, the only thing I can think of is with Martinez is SWAT, and I haven't seen it in so long. So I think that left field pick did do you wrong there, Greg. But sometimes that's the risk you have to take in the hope that you'll pick up that point. So Carl goes ahead 3-2. If he takes one more,
not a slaughter tonight.
Not well. One more victory for you, Carl, could seal it all up. We'll have to go with Marcus. I think Mike is the bigger star here.
That's a given. That is a given.
Yeah, we'll go with Marcus here. So
okay,
you're first, Carl.
So, like I say, I'm not overly familiar with the ins and outs of this film, but I was trying to kind of stick. Well, in terms
Can I stop you there for a second?
Mm-hmm.
How can you say you don't like the film if you're not in there with the ins and outs? So, like, you have seen the film, right?
Of course.
Yeah, but you can see a film, but just not like it.
It's just fair. No, I was just wondering, just when you said you weren't familiar, I was like, did he say he doesn't like it and he hasn't seen it?
Oh, I've seen it, all right. Doesn't mean I like it. Anyway, so let's see. I went with Tyler James Williams, who was in Everybody Hates Chris.
The now turned rapper?
Yes, but he's still an actor. And I do think he could play that Martin Lawrence part well.
Okay.
That could be my left field one there for you, Greg.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Okay. No. Well, who do you have, Greg? You don't seem happy with that one.
Donald Glover.
I said Danny Glover. I was like, Greg, for fuck's sake.
Say Danny Glover.
Donald Glover.
I do like Donald Glover there. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. Have I seen anything with Donald Glover where he's like a family man? Would be the only thing I'm trying to think of with him. I do like him as an actor, though. I think he is very funny, and I think he could do the family man thing. I actually do think very highly of him as an actor. When I was looking at this, I went with Brandon T. Jackson, who is he's been in a couple of comedies. Brandon T. Jackson, so he would have been in like one of those dirt remakes of Big Mama's House. He was in Tropic Thunder.
Oh yeah, Percy Jackson. He was the friend in Percy Jackson.
Yeah,
he's a good actor. He's in Fast and the Furious as well.
Yeah, I think he'd do quite well there.
I know I don't put backups on my choices, but I had thought of him at one point.
Yeah,
today.
That's it. That's who I went with because I think he's got that. I think he has those comedy chops. I'm a bit torn on that one because I can't say I've seen enough of Tyler James Williams other than when he was in Everybody Hates Chris. I did think he was very funny in Everybody Hates Chris, to be fair. And I did think obviously Terry Crews was the dad. He's so funny when he's like when he comes to back up the son. That's just one of my favorite scenes from that when he has like the other gang, like, well, not a gangster, but like some guy trying to bully him, and the dad comes out with the bat and he's like, "That's your dad? Yeah. You wasn't surprised that was my father. He just ain't never seen a father before." That scene is so good. But no, I will go with Donald Glover. I like Donald Glover as an actor. I think he'd be very good in that role. I did think you said Danny Glover, and I was like, Greg, you're definitely out if you used Danny Glover again.
Out of my feet here.
Yeah.
Been KO'd.
Well, it's back to Greg for the last one then. Mike. The big man, Will Smith himself.
Mike Lowry.
Mike Lowry.
How do you be Mike Lowry? You got to be Mike Lowry.
You be you. You be him when you're around her, and you be you, but not when you're around her.
Let's be fair. There's only probably one person for the job here. Namesake is still the same. Mike B. Jordan.
Carl?
I went for John Boyega.
He'd have been a great Marcus.
Ooh, John Boyega would have been a very good Marcus, actually.
But he's not a good Mike. Because he ain't Mike B. Jordan.
I had a feeling that Greg would probably go Mike B. Jordan, because that's normally who I'd have gone. I actually went a little bit left field on this, so I would have possibly been in a little bit of trouble had I been coming in here against you, Carl. And I went with Jesse Tilsher, who is A-Train in The Boys.
Oh, that's a good show.
Who I think would do that quite well as well. The only issue is he definitely doesn't have the star power to his name that Will Smith would have had at this time. Like, Will Smith was...
What's this, 95, was it?
95. This is Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Everything is out with this. And Will Smith is at the top of his game here.
This was him coming into acting as an action star.
Yeah, it is, but he already had a huge name. You know, like, Will Smith was already a household name by that name.
And then obviously you get that scene when he's running and it zooms in on his fucking washboard abs.
Yeah.
You're like, Jesus Christ, lads.
As I said in the last episode when I was telling you, is this the quote from Gina Linetti, you know? Will Smith looking fine and a hot cup of tea Leone. That's what she said, and, you know, she's not wrong. I did go a little bit left field, and had Greg been the judge, I probably wouldn't. I probably would have just settled on the Michael B. Jordan. But I did have Michael B. Jordan as my backup, so I will have to give that one to Greg. For a film you didn't like, Carl, and didn't think you were going to do too well in, 4-3
It's a hell of an
is
effort.
a very
Thank you.
respectable effort, and you could have even taken it had you put John Boyega into the
Marcus.
Marcus role.
Yeah, that would have destroyed me, because that would have been one where I went, no, that point doesn't deserve. Well, I wouldn't actually, because it was that close, but
yeah.
the
Well,
point-
Donald Glover is solid there as well.
Yeah, I think Boyega would be perfect there. Do you know who would actually have been really good as a duo? I don't know whether you watched the two lads that played the cops in that English show,
The Rock and Sam Jackson.
Aim for the Bushes.
Aim for the bushes.
That should have been a show in itself, shouldn't it? Those two.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the name of it is. Hang on, let me see. They played two cops in London. It was pretty much Bad Boys set in England.
Can't say I've seen that.
No.
Let me see. I'll find it. If I find it off screen, I'll tell you what it is.
Well, Carl can be happy to know that he had a respectable score there. That there is
that was much better effort.
Yeah, there is a Bad Boys 2, which is great. There's a Bad Boys 3, which I actually quite enjoyed. And there is a Bad Boys 4 coming out, Carl. So you can enjoy looking forward to that one as well.
Bulletproof.
Bulletproof. Can't say I've seen Bulletproof.
It's basically an English version of Bad Boys.
Fair enough. I might have to give that a watch.
Good. It was on Sky One.
But as it stands, Greg continues on to next week. And Carl will be coming in as the judge. And what film do you have for us, Carl?
Oh God, what did we go? What am I gonna go with?
We have him under pressure here.
He's on the back foot.
Pressure's for tires. He's just came off another knockout loss.
Can we leave it as a surprise? A surprise. Oh, I know one actually.
Okay.
Oh balls! No, I don't want to play. If he's playing Whiplash, I don't want to play.
Well, I mean, he hit us with Gangs of New York last week, or the previous time he lost, so it could be another big one like that.
Hey, did you hear my big? It's big.
What? Oh my God. Big. Okay.
The Tom Hanks film.
Tom Hanks. Okay.
I thought, why not go,
Comedy.
into the 80s and a bit of comedy? So, have
Take
fun
it.
with that one, boys and
I'll
girls.
tell you what, I'm not gonna play, Ted. You're not gonna play. We're just gonna get Carl one of those big pianos and let him run around playing the song.
I'd be up for that. I think that'd be an interesting episode if Carl got
When
one
I
of those
was-
at his house.
When I was in London there a few weeks ago, we were in Selfridges and they had one of those pianos.
I
And I tried the ding, ding, ding,
Couldn't do it.
No.
No.
What happened? He got the ding ding and collapsed.
Ding, ding, brum.
Like the opposite of a boxing match. But that's it for this week. Don't forget to like, share, follow, all that good stuff on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. Don't forget to comment below whether you think we went with the right picks or if you think there was better picks out there than what we went with. And don't forget to follow the boys on the slab either. But until next week, good luck.